take care of the Linden facility and the Ballinger location. Is balancing two worlds in one, which I'm used to doing it from my history and background in education. It began when I became a mentor for PSAT under Stacy Locke. So it was maybe about a year and a half, and then COVID hit. So Stacy, she was concerned that with all the trainings coming up and interviews, that how would the team members be able to get access? Around that same time, we had the IOTV program come at Linden, and some of those team members had Peckham authenticated accounts, which gave them access to Teams, Outlook, SharePoint, and it just so happened that those team members also had those Peckham accounts because they were involved with PSAT. Me and Stacy started brainstorming, and I brought that up. I said, well, what would they need to have access to? And then she said, by us having staff having the medium of Teams, and that we would have to find some way to get the constituents or the political figures access to Teams and those team members. We both came up with the idea that if I found a way that can happen, we'll try to initiate that. We found out that you can have guest team participants, and then with the team members already having access to Teams, which they didn't know at the time, they would just need to be trained and brought up to speed on how to utilize it. I created some documentation for Stacy so she can go through it and vet it to make sure that the team members would be able to follow the instructions of it. Once she vetted it and I trained the Linden team members on how to use it, then we see now as a viable option to take. She made the pitch, hey, what do we have to do to get all our PSAT members Peckham authenticated accounts? And I talked to someone, one of the leaderships in my department, and they say, well, by PSAT being an action group like all other action groups, that will qualify team members to have those Peckham authenticated accounts. We did a test pilot with just the Linden group first. At the time, the PSAT president, she was doing some interviews with Don Cherry. He was a political figure that was based for the Genesee County area, but had an office here. They was doing interviews with that, and it worked out great. It went over flawless. And then from there, it's just history. Then we tried to bring on Charlotte, some of the greenhouse people. Things just came on board, Riverside, so then it just snowballed into that initiative to get that going. There are a lot of individuals with physical handicaps that need certain, devices or technologies to give them that access, because other than that, they'll experience those barriers too. And so when we come across that, I think it's a duty for us as a people to try to alleviate that pressure of obstacles and barriers for those individuals also. I would say not to let their subjectivity cloud their objectivity, because individuals that have accessibility needs can also be a diamond in the rough for your department and for your personal self, because it gives you an insight to who you are on how you treat others. And if you block or put up obstacles for someone else, put yourself in their shoes and then think about how you would feel if that happened to you. That's what I always say. I just got to say it like it is. It's important for me, being a person of color and knowing that barriers and obstacles that was historically put on our culture and that sometimes I still have an experience with. Anytime a barrier or obstacle impedes a person's ability to move forward with something, I like to be a champion and try to remove that barrier and obstacle so that person can proceed and achieve what they're trying to attempt to do.